ladies, let's start to find a comfortable seat here. Good morning. It's Friday. It's warm and sunny here. Lots to be thankful for. But for the next hour, let's just kind of take it inward, right? We know that all that sunshine's out there supporting us, kind of like warming us up, getting us ready for the day. But for the next hour, make that responsibility your own by giving yourself the time here to breathe and move and just go a little bit deeper and learn to trust yourself here as you move through the poses. With your eyes closed, ground down through your sit bones, feeling nice and strong into the earth, the block, the mat, whatever you're sitting on. Gently engage your core here. Feel your spine lift a little bit taller. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears. Already start to open your heart and make space for breath. And we'll open class together with 3 ohms. Taking a deep inhale all together. Om. Sitting for a moment here, starting to feel your body awakening from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Start to focus in on your breath, right? It's the only thing we have, right? It will guide us through everything. And if you're breathing, you're doing the yoga. You're doing what you need to do. Gently let your eyes blink open. And this morning we're going to start on our mats in child's pose. So come toward the back of your mat. Join your big toes together. Spread your knees apart so that your torso can fall down in between your legs. Start to sit your hips back. Let them feel nice and heavy as they move down towards your heels and then down toward the back of the mat. Let your third eye come down onto the mat here. Nice long neck. Good, and just breathe here. You don't have to activate your arms quite yet. Just feel the heaviness of your torso. Let gravity pull you down as you start to open your hips. Right, they're folded now, but you feel that opening as you start to sink down. Breathe here. Feel the back body fill up as you inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good, keeping your head down. Just come up on your fingertips here. So you're tenting your fingers. Start to feel some activation all the way to your armpits from your wrists, right? Stretching your arms. You can walk them a little bit further forward. Just starting to engage all the way down the arms. You can pretend to push your fingertips forward as your hips sink back a little bit deeper. Good, and then staying on fingertips, just walk them over to the left side. You're keeping your right sit bone down, finding a nice long stretch through the right side of your body. Press into the fingertips, stretch a little bit further, find space in your side rib cage all down the right side of your body. Breathe in here. Exhale, let it go. Good, walking back through center, take it to the other side. Grounding down, letting that left sit bone feel nice and heavy into your heel as you walk your fingertips over. Try to stay up on fingertips here. I know we usually press down into the palms, but keep it lifted. Feel your armpit lifting away from the earth. One more breath here. Beautiful, walk it back to center. Place your forearms on the mat, bend your elbows, join your hands in prayer, and then just take that prayer up overhead. The thumbs are joining to the back of your head. Press into your elbows, feel your triceps lift up off the mat here. Good, almost feel like you're dragging your elbows back towards your midline here, back toward your torso. Stretching the triceps, starting to open up the shoulders here. One more breath. Good, then extend your arms back out. Just come to seated on your mat. You can join your knees back together and either sit down on your heels with your toes, with the tops of your feet on the mat, or come up onto your heels. Just do what feels good for you right now. Find a tall torso. If you're up on your, sitting on high on your heels, you can untuck your pinky toes here, making sure that all your toes are evenly pressed into the mat. Good. From here, pull your shoulders down your body, engage your front body. And as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, pressing them into prayer. Then interlace your fingers, press them toward the sky. And as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, press your palms forward. Good, finding lots of space down the back of your body, really rounding, separating each vertebra. One more breath here. Good, inhale, take your palms back up overhead, leaving them interlaced. Bring your interlaced palms to the back of your head. Engage your core here so that you're not swaying too much in your lower back. And then start to press your head back as you spread your elbows side to side and then shift them back in space. Maybe lifting your gaze up toward the sky. Opening up the heart, opening up the front of your shoulders here. And then as you exhale, start to round your chin in, tucking your chin, joining your elbows in front of you. Keep that pressure of your head and your palms. Good. Spreading your shoulder blades here. Inhale, open it back up. Join your shoulder blades on the back of your body. And then as you exhale, separate them as you pull into the midline, tucking in, joining your elbows. Last time here, open up, gaze moves up, engage your core. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then just take a simple twist. Left hand comes behind you, right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. Take a moment here to really lift your spine, open your collarbone here, and then gaze behind you as you exhale. Inhale here, lift a little bit taller. Exhale, twist a little bit further. Inhale, come back up through center, reach your fingertips toward the sky. And as you exhale, just switch directions. Good, right hand behind you. Really kind of peel that right shoulder open. Feel your collarbone stretch a little bit further side to side as you gaze behind you. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, reach it back up overhead. Palms come to the mat. You can start a playlist if you're practicing to music today. Good, if your feet were tucked, you might want to tap them out a little bit. Stretching the ankles back out, bringing a little more blood flow in that area. Good, and then just start to move your body a little bit before we come into a cat-cow, right? Just always checking in with yourself. These rituals we do at the beginning and the end of the practice are good times to check in with ourselves, right? And not judge. It's so important, right? Our bodies are different every day. So something that felt amazing yesterday may really be really challenging today, or not even possible, and just be okay with that. Good, 2 more breaths here, just moving your body, rolling your hips, maybe a lazy up dog. Beautiful, then come back to center, to tabletop. Press those hands into the mat, fingers are spread nice and wide. As you arch your spine, pull your heart through your shoulders, gaze moves up as your sit bones separate. And as you exhale, press into the mat, tuck it in, round it down, pressing down into the mat with your knees and your palms. Inhale, arch it up. Exhale, round it in. One more time here. Inhale, arch it up. This time, tuck your toes under, and keeping your back arched here, you're going to press back into downward facing dog, and keeping your back arched will kind of let your hips lead the way. So start to send your seat up toward the sky. You can keep gazing ahead until your arms are nice and straight. Then start to drop your chin, drop your heels, and come into your first downward facing dog. It's like slow motion. Building the pose a little bit from the foundation up. We usually come into our poses in the same way. So this is coming in the opposite way, right? Maybe bend your knees again, find a little more space. Pedal your legs out, bending your right knee and then your left, going back and forth, just warming up here. Good, and shake your head yes, release your neck, shake your head no. Maybe flutter your lips, really relax all the muscles in your face. And come to stillness here. For a moment in your down dog, try to lift your fingers and thumb off the mat, really just pressing into the 4 corners of your palm, finding even weight in all 4 corners. Good, right? Instead of dumping the weight forward, like using your fingertips as brakes, try to bring the weight evenly into the center of the hands. Maybe roll the eyes of the elbows forward, making a little more space for your neck as you send your hips a little bit further back in space. Inhaling here and exhaling. On your next inhale, tuck your tail under, really come high on your toes and roll yourself forward into a plank. Good, when you get to plank, start to pull your heart forward, drop your knees to the mat. It's like a long cat-cow here. And then exhale, pressure, tush back to your heels and come back to downward facing dog. Again, high on your heels, tuck your tail, roll yourself forward, keep pressing into the mat. And then as you exhale, drop your knees, pull your heart forward, and then roll it back, pushing to downward facing dog. Just bringing some motion to the spine here. One more time, high on the heels, tuck the tail as you roll yourself forward. Your shoulders can come a little bit ahead of your wrists here as you drop your knees to the mat. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your right leg all the way up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Come high on your toes here, bend into your left knee, send your chest a little bit further back as you lift your right toes a little bit higher. Inhaling here and exhaling. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank, tuck your chin in towards your knee as you join them under you, pressing away, separate your shoulder blades. Inhale, take it all the way back up, three-legged dog. Next inhale, gently step your right foot in between your hands, coming into a low lunge, high on your fingertips. Good. Your back heel is stacked right over your toes. Rocking back and forth here, finding space in your hips. Keep pulling your heart and your gaze forward. Good. And with this nice, strong, low lunge, just gently tap your left knee down to the mat. And as you exhale, press your left heel back to straighten your leg, find some opening in that left hip. Not a lot of motion in the torso. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, stretch it back out. Next inhale, tap it down, untuck your toes, bring your hands to your right thigh just above your knee here. Start to press your heart up toward the sky as you straighten your arms, tuck your tailbone under, and on your next inhale, sweep your arms up to Anjaneyasana. Good. First, really pressing through the feet and your back knee to lift your torso, tuck your tailbone under a little bit. And then as you exhale, just let it go. Sink your hips, but protect your lower back, keeping that tuck. Inhale here. And as you exhale, hands come to either side of your front foot. Straighten your right leg. Press your right heel into the mat as you pull your right hip back and in. Take an inhale here to lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold down over a nice strong leg here. You may have a little bend to it. We're very early in the practice, but just keep feeling that right hip pulling back and in, lengthening your hamstring. One more breath here. On your next inhale, bend back into your right knee, tuck your left toes, sweep your right leg all the way up to three-legged dog. Now open your hip here as you bend your knees, stacking your hips, taking some circles here, opening up the hip joint. You can keep your knee bent or straighten your leg, taking it fast or slow. Good, and switching directions if you haven't. Beautiful. Next inhale, just send that right leg all the way up toward the sky. One more time here, maybe last time, coming high on those left toes, feeling your right toes reach a little bit higher. And then exhale, return yourself to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches for the sky. As you exhale, roll forward to plank, really press into your palms, keep your torso pressing away from the earth as you hug your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, sweep it back up to three-legged dog. Next, inhale, gently step your left foot in between your hands, coming into that buoyant low lunge. On your fingertips here, really feel your back, the ball of your back foot pressing into the mat. Your heel is high, your heart is lifted, gaze ahead. Good. And keeping this nice, like strong, proud torso, just gently tap your right knee down to the mat. As you exhale, straighten your leg by pressing that heel back. Inhale, tap. Exhale, straighten. Last time, tap it down. Untuck your right toes. Bring your hands just above your knee on your left thigh. Start to straighten your arms as you lift your heart and your torso. Gaze moves up. Feel nice and strong, really pressing down through the right knee to lengthen the whole front of your right leg. One more breath here. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up toward the sky, Anjaneyasana. Stay high for a moment, really pressing down to lift up. One more breath here. Good, and then as you exhale, start to let your hips drop. Keep your legs engaged here, nice and strong and safe. One more breath. As you exhale, hands come to either side of that front foot. Straighten your left leg out. Take a moment here to square your hips and pull your heart forward. And as you exhale, fold it down. Good, nice long spine. So you may be up on your hands here. You want to keep pulling your heart forward, right? You can walk your hands a little bit further toward the top of the mat. Do what feels comfortable and strong. Breathe here. Good, send love to your hamstring. One more breath. Next inhale, bend back into your left knee, plant your palms, sweep that left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And then bend your knee to open your hip. Start to make those circles. Good. Straight or bent knee. Fast or slow, always. And sometimes when you find a really tight spot, it's good to take an extra breath there, sending your breath to those little nooks and crannies. Beautiful. Bring your left leg all the way back up toward the sky. Come high on those right toes again. Bend into your right knee just a little bit and feel your left toes reaching a little higher toward the sky. Good. This time as you exhale, step your left foot all the way to the front of the mat on the outside of your left hand. And then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, coming into a Yogi Squat here. Taking a moment, right? Always getting a strong foundation. It's worth the extra breath. Feel your feet in the mat, maybe rock side to side. Pull your spine nice and tall as your shoulders move down away from your ears. You can use your arms to open up your legs. Beautiful. Sink a little bit lower. Maybe bring your hands to prayer. Beautiful. And wherever you are, wherever your arms are, your hands, just take a moment here, press into your left foot and then come high on the ball of your right toes, coming up on like tiptoes on your right foot. Keep pressing those knees back. Don't let your spine sink. One more breath. As you exhale, drop your right heel, lift your left. Breathe it out. Keep pressing those knees open. Crown of your head moving toward the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. You know where we're going here. Next inhale, try to come up onto both toes, right? Lifting both heels up off the mat. Try to keep that spine nice and tall. Good. Feel nice, like a nice even balance through that whole, like the whole row of knuckles right under your toes there where you're balancing. One more breath here. Lift your heels a little bit higher. Whew. As you exhale, drop your heels. Round your spine like you're diving over a beach ball here and just let the crown of your head pull you down as your hips move behind you. You can stretch your arms out in front of you, feeling a nice long stretch down the back body. One more breath here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back toward your body. Start to press into your feet to straighten your legs. Turn your toes toward the top of the mat. You should be about hip-width distance apart here. Just take a moment to fold forward. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Maybe gently bend into your knees here as you sway side to side, warming up the lower back. Breathing here. Good, then release your hands. Let your hands hang nice and heavy as you tuck your tail, tuck your chin, roll yourself all the way up. Head comes up last. As soon as you bring your head up, start to sweep your arms out and up. Take a nice big full body stretch here. And as you exhale, bring your hands by your side into Tadasana. Gently close your eyes. Taking a moment, right? That was like a deep warm up. Getting our bodies ready to move with our breath. Setting intention for our practice, for our day, for our weekend, right? Sharing all of this good energy. Sending it out into the world to people who need it, places that need it. Good. Take one more round of breath here, really fill up. As you exhale, drop your hands by your side. Feel your feet strongly in the mat, warming up with some sun salutations, letting our breath guide us. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, maybe press them into prayer if you're ready. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale here as you lengthen, look forward, bring the weight a little bit more into your toes here. And then as you exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down, squeezing your elbows in. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back down, dog. When we're pressing back, you can also bend your knees again like we did at the beginning and send your hips way up. And then let your heels fall as you straighten your legs, right? Play around and see what feels good today. Inhaling here. Exhaling, lengthen down the side body. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale again, reach it up, pull your shoulders down away from your ears as you reach your fingertips in the opposite direction. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lengthen, try to bring the weight a little bit more forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Lift your legs away. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. This time in our downward facing dog, let's come high up on our heels. Just do a nice little side stretch here now that we're warmed up. Come high on your heels and then just let your heels fall to the right. Really press down through that left palm. Feel a nice long stretch through your left side body. Breathing here. Inhale, come back up onto high toes and then let your heels fall to the left. Really pressing extra weight into your right palm. Feeling how that extends your body all the way down the right side. One more breath here. Inhale, come high on your toes here. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog for one more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. This time as you exhale, fold it right back down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Let your hips lead the way. So much comfort in this pose, like we come to it so often. I feel like sometimes at the beginning it can be a little bit arduous and you're like hard to hold. And then when we get to downward facing dog after a long, challenging sequence, we're like, oh, thank God for downward facing dog, right? It's all perspective and context. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side. Good, hook your thumbs in front of you as you inhale, reach up, look up, arch back, tuck your tail down, really find a nice front body stretch. As you exhale, bend your knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down, let the crown of your head pull you down. Good, pausing here, keeping your hands interlaced. As you inhale, just bend into your knees, try to keep your chest attached to your thighs as you come into a skier squat here. Send your hips back, roll, pull your shoulders back and gaze ahead. Exhale, fold it down, let your hips lift high, head drops. One more time here, inhale, squat it down, try to keep your chest attached to your thighs here. This time as you exhale, straighten, release your hands to the mat, step your right foot back to a lunge, gaze ahead. Listen up, as you exhale, sweep your left leg all the way up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Take your left knee to your left upper arm or elbow. Exhale, sweep it back up. Inhale, come all the way into the middle here. Hug your chin in towards your chest. Exhale, sweep it back up. Inhale here as you exhale, take your left knee to your right upper arm or elbow and then extend it out to the side, rolling onto the sole of your back foot and opening up into a falling triangle here. Take it gentle, we're early in the practice, but really feel your feet in the mat more than anything. Use that to lift your hips a little bit higher. As you exhale, right hand comes down, left leg sweeps up to the sky. And as you exhale, step your left foot in between your hands, coming into a high lunge. Good. Take a breath here, situate yourself, settle in. Good, you're pressing your right heel back, bending into your left knee here. And as you exhale, take a twist to the left. Gazing over your left fingertips, which are reaching behind you. Pull your torso back over your hips. One more breath here. Good, then either stay here or you can reverse your lunge, reaching your right arm up and back, finding a nice long stretch. Good. And as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the inside, like right under your right shoulder, and just take a nice open twist. So your legs haven't really moved here. Inhaling here and exhaling. Good. From here, come to the outer edge of both of your feet. We're going to just take some hip dips here, really opening up the outer hips. Drop your hips as your left hand reaches toward the back of the space. And then as you exhale, press into those outer feet edges. As you lift your hips, take your arm up and over. Exhale, reach it back. Inhale, press to reach up and over. Keep your arm moving in an arch as you bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot. Step your left foot back to plank, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Pull your heart forward, pull your shoulders back. Exhale, take it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Next inhale, step your right foot forward to lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch it back. As you exhale here, bend your knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down, pause here. Bring the weight a little bit more to the front of your feet. Feel your sit bones lift a little bit higher toward the sky here. And then as you exhale, sink your hips, pull your heart forward, come back to that sphere squat just one more time after this. Exhale, fold, squeezing into the midline the whole time. Inhale here, drop your hips, gaze moves forward. As you exhale to straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat. Right foot steps back to a lunge. Inhale, left foot sweeps up toward the sky. Oh no, sorry, left foot steps back. Right foot sweeps up toward the sky, three-legged dog. I forgot what side we were on. On your next inhale, come forward to plank. Tap your right knee towards your upper arm or elbow on the right side. Inhale, sweep it up to three-legged dog. Inhale, bring it into center as you roll forward, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, take it back. This time, cross it over, right knee towards your left upper arm. Straighten your leg out to the side as you press your back foot into the mat, peeling open here. Good. Lift your hips by pressing down through your feet. Inhale here. As you exhale, left hand comes down, right leg sweeps up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, place your foot in between your hands. Deep bend in the right knee, reach it up to high lunge here. Taking a few breaths. Feel those outer hips squeezing in. That'll give you balance here. And keep them square as we twist. Take one more inhale here, lift a little bit higher with your heart. And as you exhale, take the twist to the right. Easing back over your right fingertips. Strong arms here, reaching in opposite directions. Either stay here or take the reverse, reaching your left arm up and back as your right arm comes down your back leg. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale, keep your legs as they are. Left hand comes down to the mat, take this nice open twist. Keep pulling your right hip back and in. Feeling a nice opening in that outer hip. One more breath. Then as you exhale, just come to the outer edges of both of your feet. Start to drop your hips as you reach your right arm back. Then exhale, press into your feet to lift your hips. Your arm goes up and over in a big arch. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, heel, press to lift. Last time, dip your hips down. This time, as you press to lift, start to take your arm all the way over. Place your hands on the mat. Step back to lower down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. I'm just realizing I don't think we did this part on the other side. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Exhale, push it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward to a lunge, gaze ahead. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful. Catching up, checking in, resetting here. If you've closed your eyes, start to blink them open. Bring your toes and heels to touch at the top of the mat. Squeeze your legs into the midline. As you exhale, start to drop your hips, coming into Utkatasana, upward chair. This time it weighs back in your heels, and then tuck your tail under to lift your heart. One more breath here. Exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, sweep your right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, come forward to plank and very gently, like you're making an imprint in the sand, start to step your right foot in between your hands. Coming up into high lunge for just a breath, and then exhale, peel it open into warrior two. Pause. Check your feet, heel to arch alignment here. Really think about tucking your tail under here, opening up the front of your hips. Good, sending your right knee back in space without compromising the whole right foot pressing into the mat evenly. Good, one more breath here, sink down a little bit deeper. Next inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back, nice side stretch here. And as you exhale, let's come into extended side angle. So any version you'd like. Modify with your arm on your leg, hand to the inside or outside of your front foot. Wherever you are, you're keeping an active top arm unless you're binding, right? You can always take the bind by taking your left hand behind you, right arm under, and let your right hand grab your left wrist. Peeling your heart open toward the sky. Inhaling here and exhaling. One more breath. Good, wherever you are, whether you're bound or not, you're gonna press into your right leg to straighten it, coming into this nice long triangle, right? It works in any version. Even if you're pressing your hand into your leg, you can continue that press here. So you're in this nice long triangle. Think about tucking your right tailbone under and down towards your right heel. Stacking your hips, gazes ahead. Your hand might be down on the mat. You may even still be in the bind here. Good, wherever you are, just stay. Inhaling here and exhaling. If you have the bind, start to release it and just reach your left, everyone reach your left arm up toward the sky. Then take your left hand to your left hip. Gently bend into your right knee here and come make your way into half moon. So we're just tipping this triangle, right, 90 degrees. Keep your top leg nice and active. It's hard when it's floating up around there, right? You have no context, but keep pressing back. Flex your foot to find that sort of place in space that you are. Maybe take the bind if you are ready and have it. Maybe bending gently into your standing knee to peel your hips open a little bit more and then straighten into that space. One more breath here. As you exhale, left hand comes down, square your hips, left toes are facing down. We're doing a lot of outer hip stuff here today. Plant your left palm or fingertips into the mat and peel your right arm up toward the sky, let your gaze follow, but keep squeezing your outer hips in to keep them square, just twisting through your rib cage. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. Take a moment here to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, start to fold it forward into standing leg split. Reaching those left toes up. And again, here, I love doing this micro bend, finding space to lift and then straightening into it. Try to release your neck. Let the crown of your head pull you down. One more breath. Good, as you exhale, palms come to the mat. Gently float your left foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, right foot steps back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep that left leg up toward the sky. Three-legged dog, find space in your front body. And exhale, almost in slow motion, try to place the left heel down first and then roll through the foot all the way through the toes to place your whole foot down on the mat. Take an inhale here to sweep up to high lunge for just a breath. And then as you exhale, peel it open into warrior two. Back foot is on a 45-degree angle here. Tuck your tailbone in. We haven't held this pose in a while, right? It's usually a transitional one. But really feel that back foot pressing into the mat, lengthening that leg. Nice and strong here. Gazing over your front fingertips for one more breath, sink a little deeper into your front knee. Good, and without losing that bend, start to take it into a reverse warrior. Reaching away, finding space in your side rib cage. And as you exhale, make your way into your version of extended side angle, wherever you are. If you can do the same as you did on the other side, try it here, unless you have an injury. Keep bending into that front knee, pressing through your back foot, gazing up, opening your heart, whatever version you're in. Good, maybe you're bound here. Taking your left arm under, grabbing your right arm or wrist or fingers. One more breath. Good, and then keep your arms wherever they are and start to straighten into this nice long triangle. Right, even in the bind, it can feel really good. Keep pressing into your feet, lifting the weight away from the ground. Good. Tuck your left tailbone down toward your left heel. Stack your hips. Keep pressing your left hip forward and pull your right hip back. One more breath here. As you exhale, left hand comes to left hip. Start to walk your fingertips forward of the left hand. Good. Bend into your left knee. Start to make your way into this half moon pose. And again, maybe starting with a bent standing leg. And then as you start to activate your back leg and press it back, start to straighten that standing leg. It's like blossoming like a flower here. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your right hand down. Square your hips. All your right toes are facing down. Your legs are making a right angle. Squeezing into the midline from the outer hips, and then peel your left arm up to the sky. Gaze moves up. Good. Keep pulling your, I'm going to knock my head on myself right here, but keep pulling your head forward. One more breath. Good. As you exhale, left hand comes down. Take a breath to lengthen your spine and find some space. And as you exhale, fold it down. Standing split. Inhaling here. And exhale. One more breath. Good. This time as you exhale, plant your palms to the mat, bend into your left knee, float your right foot to the back of the mat, coming into a lunge. As you exhale, step your left foot back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, let's check in here. Maybe close your eyes, you can come to child's pose. 5 breaths here to catch up. Listening to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're in child's pose, walk your palms forward. We'll be back into downward facing dog here. Good. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up toward the sky, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step it forward in between your hands, coming into a lunge. Let's take this nice open twist again, right? Really checking to make sure, because we're going to be making our way into side plank. I can't think of the names today. Making sure your wrist is right under your shoulder of your left arm. Good. Then pull your torso away, find a space. And as you exhale, start to roll onto the outer edge of your back foot. You can take your right big toes and your right peace fingers and come into Vashisthasana with a lifted leg. You can bring your top leg into tree. Good. Wherever you are, you want to keep pushing your hips up and away from the earth. Good. One more breath here. Wherever you are, start to drop your right leg behind you, coming into a rock star pose. You come high on your right toes, press your left foot into the mat as you look back behind you. And as you exhale, just come to sit. You're going to be facing the back of your mat now. Keep your right knee bent. Left leg is extended out. Plant your left hand down next to your hip for balance as you reach your right arm up toward the sky, finding space. As you exhale, start to lean forward towards your left foot here, and then start to take the bind, coming into this fold here. Good. Really press your right foot into the mat. Hug your right leg in towards your torso. Take an inhale here to lengthen your spine forward as you send your hips back. Exhale, fold it down. Breathe. Inhaling and exhaling, right? Even if you don't have the bind, just think about pulling that thigh in toward your midline and keep pressing your right foot down into the mat. It's very active, engaging all those muscles to pull it in. Inhale here. Good. As you exhale, come back up to seated. I'm going to face you guys. Take your elbows to cradle your right shin. So your left elbows kind of around the bottom of your foot, your right elbows around your knee here. Take a moment here to lift your heart, sit up nice and straight as you pull your shin in towards your heart. Most important is to stay nice and upright. Good, because you don't want to be slouching like this, right? So stay upright. Your shin may be a little bit further away when you do that. Rock back and forth. And then either stay here if it feels really good, or start to bring your knee up over your shoulder on the right side like you're wearing it like a backpack. Grab the top of your right foot with your left hand as you extend your right arm out to the side, coming into compass pose. Start to peel your heart open toward the left as you extend your right leg. Good, almost gazing up at your left elbow or even up at your leg behind. Keep opening your heart toward the sky. Keep pressing that right palm into the mat. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale, let's just reverse out of it. Start to bring your shin back to a cradle. Sit up nice and tall. And this time, bring your right foot to the outside of your left leg. You can leave your left leg extended or you bend it. We're just going to take it into a nice seated spinal twist. So your right arm comes behind you. Ground your sit bones as you lift your left arm. And exhale, take a nice twist here. You can bring your hands to prayer. You can take the bind wherever you're feeling it today. Definitely not feeling a bind here today. Good, nice tall spine. Take an inhale here. Good, and then as you exhale, start to counter twist and then keep walking your hands toward the front of the mat. Tuck your left toes under, just sweep your right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, come back to downward facing dog. You should be back where you started at the top, like facing the front of your mat. All right, other side. Hope I remember all this. Good. Left leg reaches up toward the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your foot in between your hands. We're going to come into first this nice open twist here. So your left knee is bent, your left hip is pulling in, and then pull your torso away from your left thigh. Right? Take up lots of space here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Start to gaze down. You're going to roll to the outer edge of your back foot and make your way into your version of side plank. So again, you can have your top leg in front of you like a kickstand, just lifting your hips by pressing down through your hand and your back foot. You can bring your top leg into tree. You can just lift it freestyle, right? Whatever feels good to you, or you can take the toe bind. Most important is that you're pressing down to lift up. One more breath. Good, wherever you are as you exhale, start to let your left foot fall behind you. Just take a moment here to reach up and back. Rock star pose here. Tuck your tail down to protect your lower back. And then as you exhale, simply drop your hips to the mat. Good, facing back again. This time your right leg is extended. You're bending your left knee, your foot and your left foot and your right inner thigh should be about a fist width apart. Bring your right hand behind you for balance as you ground down to lift your left arm up. Exhale, pull yourself forward, reach ahead. And then as you exhale, start to wrap your left arm around the front of your left leg, coming into the bind if you can. Take an inhale here to lengthen, and then exhale, fold it down. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now lots of space in your, like when you're in these forward folds, always try to think about lengthening your front body, right? We always feel like we're crunched over. So think about pulling your heart forward, keeping your front body as long as possible. One more breath here. Next inhale, come back up to seated. This time, let's cradle our left shin. Keep your left foot like nice and flexed here. Protect your knees so it's not twerking in weird directions. Start to rock back and forth. Really feel that foot pressing into your inner arm. Good. Nice and tall here. Pulling it in, feeling a nice opening in the outer left hip. And then either stay here if it feels good, or start to bring your left knee up over your shoulder as you extend your left arm out. Take your right hand over the top of your left foot And then start to extend that leg out to the side as you peel your heart open to the right. Gaze moves up. Think about pressing, wherever your body's touching the earth, press down. That will help you open up a little bit further. One more breath here. Good. As you exhale, start to come out of it. Take a breath or two, cradling your shin again. You can stay here all day. It feels so good. Beautiful. And then start to cross your left leg over your right, bringing your foot to the outside of your right thigh. Right leg can stay straight, or you can bend your knee coming into seated spinal twist. Left hand comes behind you. Think about, even before you turn, keeping your collarbone nice and spread here. Inhale, reach up through your right arm, find the space, and then exhale, take the twist. Good. Same arm variation you did on the other side if you have the bind. You can bring your hands in prayer. If you have your hands in prayer, really press your palms into each other and think about dragging your heart toward your thumbs, right? Because your arms aren't moving, your torso is moving. Gaze behind you, over your left shoulder. One more breath. As you exhale, start to take a counter twist. Then keep your hands walking toward the top of the mat. Tuck those right toes under, lift your left leg up toward the sky. And as you exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Good. One more time. Lift that right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And we'll do yogi's choice here. You can either do splits if you feel like you need like a nice hamstring stretch, or if your right hip is feeling like it needs a little bit of love, come into pigeon pose. Right? So splits, you're either doing full split or half split. Half split, you're going to have your right leg straight out in front of you as you take your hips back. Or pigeon, you're going to bend your legs, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Good. Take a moment here to lift your torso wherever you are. Grounding down to lift up, and then exhale, fold forward. Right, if you want a little more challenges if you're in pigeon, you can always start to walk your shin a little bit more parallel to the top of the mat, finding a little more opening in that right outer hip. Breathing here, inhaling, and exhaling. Good, wherever you are, bring your torso back up. Make your way into your downward facing dog. So you're going to tuck your back toes wherever you are. Maybe sweeping your right leg up one more time. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, lift that left leg up toward the sky. And take yourself wherever you're headed, whether it's half split, full split, or pigeon. You know what you need today. Good. Take a moment here to lift your torso, find space in your front body. And as you fold, wherever you are, let your heart lead the way. Really pull yourself forward, and then take your torso down over your leg. If you're in pigeon, you're folding over your shin. If you're in half split or full split, you're folding over that left leg. Hips are pulling back, squaring them. Again, whichever position you're in, whichever asana you're in, your hips are squaring by pulling your left hip back in space. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale, lift your torso back up, plant your palms, make your way into downward facing dog, maybe taking that little extra stretch in three-legged dog. And as you exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank. As you exhale, just take knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale, slide it forward to low cobra, and then walk your elbows out into Sphinx pose. Good. Pressing your forearms down into the mat, making sure everything is nice and stacked so your shoulders are right over your elbows and your arms are nice and parallel on the mat. Press your forearms into the mat, feel your heart pull forward, press your feet into the mat, your hip bones into the mat, then squeeze everything into the midline. Good, super active, but not a lot of activity here, right? It's a weird thing. It's like all the muscles are engaged and active, but you're not really moving anywhere. Keep pulling in, squeezing in, one more breath. Good, and then as you exhale, just let your forehead come to the mat for just a moment, taking a break. Then return yourself to Sphinx first. Tuck your toes under and bring yourself into a forearm plank. Again, squeezing into the midline, feeling nice and strong. Your navel's moving up toward the sky, up toward your spine. Good. From here, start to walk your feet in towards your elbows, coming to this forearm dog, or sometimes it's called dolphin. Good, and then lots of options here for yogis. You can stay here and keep lifting your hips up toward the sky. Maybe start to walk your feet in a little bit more as you press your chest back. You can work on lifting one leg at a time. You can work on Pincha Mayurasana. Wherever you are, you're pressing those forearms into the mat, right? This just builds strength for inversions or any kind of arm balances, even crow pose and things like that. Keep pressing down, feel your armpits lift up and away from the mat as you send your chest back. If you're lifting one leg, you can lift the other. Kind of play around with it. You could do like some core crunches here, bring your knee in. There's infinite number of ways to do things that you might need today. One more breath wherever you are. If you're upside down, start to come back down. And then everybody bring your knees to the mat. Take a pause in child's pose. Good. On your next inhale, come up to seated. We're going to come into one of my favorites. Good. Bend your knees out to the side. Press the soles of your feet into the mat. So you don't want to be so wide that your feet are up. You want your feet firmly grounded into the mat. Toes facing forward if it's okay with your knees. Take your elbows to the inside of your knees and start to press them open as you lift your heart and ground your sit bones. Good. So you're, again, pressing down to lift up. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, start to fold down, trying to round your spine. So really grounding down. Keep pressing those knees out if you have room to do that. You might need to move your arms a little bit to do it. Let the crown of your head pull you down. Really feeling a deep opening up by your groin and your inner thighs. One more breath. Inhale, lift it back up. Extend your legs out to the side. Bring your hands behind you to lift your heart. Tip a little bit more forward on your sit bones here. And as you exhale, start to walk yourself forward, maybe staying on your hands, maybe coming to forearms, maybe bringing yourself further down, but keep your legs active, okay? Good, fold it down. And then when you get where you're going, I want you to think about your heels pressing into the mat. Really press them down so much that your knees lift and bend a tiny bit. And then from there, try to pull your heels into the midline. They're not gonna move. You should feel lots of activity in your inner legs here. One more breath here, pull it all into the midline. Whew. And then as you exhale, let it go, fold a little bit deeper. You can point your toes, flex your toes, kind of play around and see where that changes the stretch. Inhaling here and exhaling. Next inhale, walk yourself all the way back up. Bring your legs straight out in front of you. Your feet are probably toward the top of your mat. Take an inhale here to lift your heart up toward the sky. And then exhale, just fold it down into this nice restorative forward bend. Again, keeping those legs active. Pretend you're squeezing a block in your inner thighs. Point your toes up toward the sky. Pull yourself a little bit deeper. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Next inhale, just come halfway up. Release your hands if you're holding your feet. Feel your fingertips into the mat. I like coming down onto our backs like this. So really drag your fingertips back towards your hips as you start to tuck your tailbone under. Kind of stay curls here. Keep your core engaged. Your navel's pulling down toward the spine here. And as slowly as you can, trying to keep your heels connected to the mat. Drag yourself all the way down onto your backs. Beautiful. Taking an inversion of your choice. You may have done pinch up before. You can come into headstand if you're ready for that now. Shoulder stand is a great option. Waterfall, just something to get your feet up above your heart. Good. A nice one toward this time in the practice is shoulder stand. So if you're going there, lift your legs up above your hips. Keep squeezing into the midline. Tuck your tail up towards your heels. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, fill up, lift your toes a little bit higher. And if you're in shoulder stand, start to let your feet fall behind your head. Coming into plow pose, releasing your hands if your toes make it to the mat. Good, sending some breath to your lower back, maybe gently letting your knees bend. Not all the way into Karnapidasana yet, but just letting them go, feeling a little more opening in your lower back with the softness of your knees. Now bend your knees to either side of your head. Giving your ears a little squeeze here, Karnapidasana, nice heavy legs behind you. One more breath. As you inhale, start to straighten your legs, send your arms down the mat, and very slowly start to make your way all the way back down onto your back. Really taking it slow, using your core to pull your legs down. Making a nice big arch with your toes, like drawing a rainbow in the sky, right? Keep pulling down and forward. When you get down all the way to your back, last pose, just shimmy your elbows down towards your knees. Press into your forearms as you lift your heart and drop your head toward the mat. 3 times, just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, letting it all go before we get Shavasana. Breathe in, fill up, and then let it go. Again, breathe it in. Last time, breathe in. And as you exhale, start to tuck your chin in, release yourself down onto the mat, making your way into any final poses that you might need to complete your practice. We're heading right to Shavasana. Letting your arms fall away from your body, your feet flop out to the side. You have a playlist going, hopefully finding some nice Shavasana music. And then just letting go for a few moments. Slowly start to reawaken your body and your breath, wiggling your fingers and toes, deepening your inhales and your exhales. As you're ready, start to reach your arms up over your head, stretching your feet in the opposite direction, taking a full body stretch here, really filling up with breath. And as you exhale, gather your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. Pausing there before coming to seated on your mat. Closing your eyes, finding a nice tall spine. Finding that grounding sensation that will actually lift you up. With your eyes gently closed, we'll close together as we always do with Lokha Samasta. Taking a deep inhale. Lokha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together at heart center. Gently bow your chin in towards your chest. Taking this final moment turned inward to thank yourself, honor yourself, celebrate yourself, knowing that everything that you need, all the teachings and the wisdom lie right within you. Bringing your prayer to your third eye, sealing in the practice and the energy. We bow forward together. Namaste.